Hey guys, what's going on? Jeremy Lafrentz with Backstage Entertainment. We're actually sitting here with Jon again. Jon, we caught you a couple months back, you and Michael, both at Laserfest we were just talking about. We have another hot day today. It was pretty bad then. I think it's a little worse today. But finally got inside. We're at Sokol Auditorium here in Omaha, Nebraska. We're actually in the underground right now. Like I said, we got inside to do the interview. It's pretty hot out there right now. What's it kind of like for you in the Omaha weather right now?
Well, like you said, it's pretty hot, and it is hot, and for me personally, it's way too hot. But we were in Arizona a few days ago. That was even worse, actually.
Okay.
It was like 115 or something like that.
Really?
Somebody told me that. I was like, no wonder I'm dying.
Yeah. How much longer on the U.S. tour do you get before you go back to Denmark?
We have, let's see, 3 shows left now. We go home on Friday. Yeah.
Pretty soon then. So.
Pretty soon, yeah.
Okay. Any preparations to go back home, or do you have a lot of stuff to gather, or just what's it like leaving USA to Denmark then?
With a big smile on our faces.
Yeah. I mean, it's nice to go back home.
It is. It's always nice to go
Right.
back home. Go back to your regular stuff. Sleep in your own bed. Eat your own food. See your family, friends again. That's the best part, of course.
Yeah. Okay.
But the flight is hell.
Oh,
so
I'm sure.
I will not recommend that.
Yeah. So like I said, we caught Volbeat back, in May of this year. What's kind of, in the last couple months, you've been on this tour with Hell Yeah. What else has been kind of going on? Pretty much that, right?
Yeah, pretty much that. I mean, we did the festival run in May where we ran into you guys, and then we went home for like, I don't know, was it like 16 days, and then we went straight back. Started off in Toronto about a month ago on this tour with Hell Yeah, Iced Earth. And now we're into the last week of that tour.
Yeah.
So
You gotta go back home, like you said.
we gotta go back home and go straight back out on the road.
Right. Let's talk about this. I was on your guys' website kind of seeing what's been going on lately. You guys recently played a festival with Metallica, and you guys got to hang out with James Hetfield for a while.
Yeah.
And he announced you guys on stage, things like that. What's it like to have Metallica in your lives like that, and just even to be a part of that festival with you?
First of all, it was a great honor that they had asked us, because they picked out every band that were on that festival. It was picked out by the individual band members, and everybody now knows that James likes our music. He and Michael, usually talks by email or something like that. They keep in touch, and James have seen us play a couple of times in Europe actually, and it's nice, and it's a great honor, And he actually himself said, I'm going to introduce you guys. It was like, oh. Right, that's nice. Thank you.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's cool, and that festival was a really great experience.
Another thing I saw on your guys' website that Still Counting recently was #1 on the active radio charts, and you guys have 4 studio albums. That was actually on the 3rd album. So what's it like to have an older song like that be #1 and kind of revive itself a little bit?
It did, but I just finished another interview on the local radio, and he said it was from the last album, but I guess it's the digital version that they have just re-released.
Oh, really?
I think
Okay.
with Still Counting on it. But
Okay.
but yeah, it was kind of weird actually that it, like you said, it was from a previous album. But I guess why they picked that song, I have no idea. I guess it's because a lot of fans, were calling radio stations, what about this Still Counting song? What about this Play Still Counting, Play Still Counting? So I guess that's why they decided, okay, let's put that one out as a single, actually. But yeah, like you said, it recently went to #1 on the active radio chart. I mean, it was like, we were like, again? How can that be? But that's definitely cool.
Okay, well, good. Well, let's talk about it too. We had briefly mentioned the album a couple months ago when we saw you guys, but 4th album, Beyond Hell, Above Heaven. Talk about from start to finish. Is it a pretty long process to create an album like that?
Not really. We have one advantage is that Michael writes all the time.
Okay.
Being in the bus, being backstage, being home, rehearsal room, he always writes. He always have idea for melodies, riffs, stuff like that. So what we basically do is that he would be home, sorting out all his stuff and see, okay, this might work, this might not work, and then he builds kind of like a skeleton that he shows the rest of us and said, okay, I got this idea for this and this and that. And most of the time he will have an almost complete song and sometimes he has nothing, and then we just jam around.
Right.
Sometimes, let's say from the last album, we had, I don't know, 10 or 11 songs that was kind of like, in my point of view, a bit more punkish, bit more sing-along stuff. And he asked me one day, he said, do you think we need anything for the album? And I said, yeah, I think we actually need one more song that's more riff-based, based on the riff like we used to do. And he was like, okay. And then he went home and said, well, let's meet up in 2 days and I'll see what I can come up with. And he basically came up with the song Who They Are, which was more riffy, kind of based song. So sometimes you just need a little spark, a little idea. As for the lyrics, well, he had the idea for the Guitar Gangster already done, and he knew he wanted to continue that story. So those ideas were all already there, and he knew that he would have the lyrics written for thanks, which was thank you to the fans, basically. And so he knew that, and I guess the rest of the lyrics, it's probably just something that pops up in his head, and he goes, got it.
Got it.
Yeah. And I know for the next album, he's already reading a lot of material on ancient history, on the Wild West, actually. So to get new inspiration, new ideas, what he will come up with, only time will tell. But he's watching a lot of different stuff and reading at different stuff to get new ideas to see if he can come up with something new.
Okay, so just a lot of stuff like that helps him write new albums and things. So, all right, the next thing we did, we went to our Facebook page. Everybody can find Backstage Entertainment and like us on there. We have the box here, but we did also because we have got quite a bit of interest in you guys from our page, and fans wanted to ask you guys questions themselves. So we have a few from just people that posted on our page. We picked out a few. First, we have Kevin that asked, is there any 2002 demo album songs on any upcoming release? Are you guys going to re-release any of those from that demo album at all?
I don't think we will ever re-release anything from that. I mean, those songs are what they are, you know. Good or bad, that's not up for me to decide, but we have talked a bit about it, whether we should maybe re-record some of them or maybe rearrange some of them, but in the end it was like, nah, leave it be. That's how we sounded when we started, you know, and that's fine. So if you can find a copy out on eBay, you know, go for it.
Right. All right. So Kevin, you have your answer there.
Go on eBay.
Go on eBay, Kevin. All right. Patty asked, what is the order of the story songs? Because on one of your guys' albums, you talk about, there's 7 songs that compilate to the story, and she said she's from one of the Volbeat fan forums, and they've been wondering that too. Is there anything you guys can tell us about the order of those?
I can't. You have to ask Michael about that. Michael would be the only one who would know that. Actually, I have no idea. Okay,
so it's all up to Michael. So we're going to try and catch him next time or something. Yeah. So let's see. We have one from John too, and we kind of touched on this a couple months ago. But how hard is it to get in the USA market?
It is hard because it is still probably the biggest market in the world, and I mean the U.S. is such a huge country. You can tour here forever, and may never made an impact. Obviously, radio still has a lot to say, and we can see that once radio started picking up on some of the songs, we could have slightly bigger shows. So radio is definitely still very important. But other than that, the only thing that we have ever done, and the only thing we know, is actually just tour. And if we can make an impact, then great. Good. And if we couldn't, well, at least we could say we tried. Yeah,
exactly. So let's go ahead and get to another part. You guys experienced this a couple months back, and you guys kind of you liked it. Michael, and especially was liking it. Yeah, so. Fun. Let's try this. We have our Backstage Entertainment, or BSE box. Fans can like Backstage Entertainment on Facebook and get your own questions in here for bands we interview to answer. So, John, we'll pick a few here, and let's see what we get. I wonder if you're going to get any duplicates from last time.
I think we had this one, but anyway. What would you be doing as a career if you weren't doing this? Didn't we have that? No, never mind that.
It sounds kind of familiar.
It sounds kind of familiar, but anyway, I guess, probably having a regular day job. You need to earn money to live, actually.
Yeah.
So have some sort of, I don't know, regular day job, probably working at the factory or building site or something
Right.
like that, I
Right.
would imagine.
Yep. Let's see if we get another Duke.
What else we can get? Something funny. If you could play a show as any other band, who would it be?
Talked about Metallica earlier. That might be a
Yeah.
top choice, but what else do you think?
That would be the obvious choice, wouldn't
Right,
it, to say
it would
Metallica? If I had the energy, I would say Slayer.
There you go.
Yeah,
That'd be a good one.
that's a pretty good one. The Mighty Slayer. And if not, I wouldn't have mind being a Beatle for a day, just to see
there
what
you
it
go.
was like, you know.
Yeah. Try another one here.
Let's take another one. Oh, that's a short one.
Short one here.
What inspires you to play music?
Pretty serious question.
Pretty
there,
serious
but good,
question. So,
good one.
and a pretty much good one. But, well, actually, the obvious answer would be music. You know, you get inspired by music. You want
Right.
to play music. You get inspired by another type of music, and then you play another type of music. So the obvious answer would probably be music. You know.
What do you think was the #1 band you'd say growing up that you listened to that really inspired you to be a musician today?
Well, there were different type of bands. I mean, obviously, as a kid, the Beatles were the first one. I'm not that old, so I have actually seen them in real life. But I saw them on TV when I was a kid, and that was, for me, it was like so different. I've never seen anything like it before, and so I said to my dad, I want to be that guy on the drums, and he rolled his eyes and said, "Oh no." But thankfully, he gave in and said, "Okay, we're going to help you out with that." So the Beatles were definitely the first one, and then when I started developing more like my own taste as a teenager, a British band called Adam and the Ants came in because they had 2 drummers, and I thought that was even better than the Beatles. 2 drummers, it can't be better than that. So obviously that became a huge influence, also because of the image-wise that they had, dressed up as pirates and all that stuff, and from then I progressed on to bands like Iron Maiden and Kiss. Obviously became a huge influence because Kiss's music was actually pretty easy to play along with. You could sit with your headphones on and drum on a pillow or something like that, and you could pretty much pick up what they did, and that's what I have always done, actually, more or less. So obviously Eric Carr from Kiss became one of the major influences, and Nico McBrain would be one later, and Lars from Metallica. Obviously, when I got into the whole thrash scene, Metallica was the biggest already then. Everybody knew about Metallica, and they had this little Danish guy playing drums, so obviously he became one. And and then of course Dave.
Right.
Are the ones.
There you go. Okay.
Should we pick one more?
Let's do one more here.
One more. Let's see if we can find a read.
You can hear they got the air conditioner running here, so.
If you could be any movie character, who would it be?
Any good movies that inspire you and that you say, oh, I gotta be him or whatever. Could be superheroes or just.
Nah, superheroes are kind of boring.
Really?
Yeah, Jason Voorhees is cool.
Yeah.
Although he do get killed every time, but he wakes up again. I don't know.
Tough when there's so many movies out there.
There are way too many movies, actually.
The Dark Knight Rises comes out Friday.
Oh yeah, it comes out on Friday.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, that's your superhero again. Don't want to be Batman.
Don't feel like being Batman. I don't know. Let's just say Jason.
Let's say that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, we experienced the box a couple times in 2 months here.
Yep.
So once again, any kind of last message for the fans or anything like that?
The obvious one. Thanks for all your support.
Yep.
You know, keep coming to the shows. Keep requesting for us on the radio so we can keep coming back.
Yeah, definitely. So guys, check out Volbeat again, John, and check out any upcoming tour dates. You guys heading home soon, but you'll be probably back here pretty quick. So
Probably, yeah.
yep, just keep checking Volbeat, Facebook, their website and everything, and check them out, guys. Hey everyone, make sure to like Backstage Entertainment on Facebook to see our photos, to enter yourself into contests for autographed prizes, and other news. Also, make sure to click the subscribe button on YouTube to check out the rest of our videos. And you can find us on Twitter to get updates about what we're doing. For Backstage Entertainment, this is Jeremy Lafrentz.